From level two upwards, you need to start learning to use role shifts as part of your language features. Now, these are key grammatical features that we use in conversations as well as storytelling. So hopefully by the end of this short session, you have a better understanding of why we use them and why signature says you need to have them in order to get your level two, your level three, and so on. Now, a role shift is a grammatical feature that the signer becomes the character and they take on all those attributes, the behaviors, their emotions, how they see things into themselves so that you can see exactly what that character is doing. Now, it helps us as the receivers of the language being receptive. It helps us to see who is actually speaking. It tells us the difference between the characters. One might be a short, fat man, whilst the other one is a very tall woman that he looks up to. It helps us reduce the redundancy of he said, she said, I said, they said. We don't need that in BSL. We simply shift into that character. And there's three main ways that we do this, and that is through our body, how our body embodies that character, what our face does, how does our face show the characteristics and the emotions of the angry child. And maybe our eye gaze can also show that. How does this child look up to the mum, the dad? And it's not only just humans that we use role shifts with. We can become animals. So how does the dog behave? Now, linguistic research shows that role shifts tell us who is talking, and it's an important part of our way of communicating, how we do our dialogue. So these are really important linguistic features that we need to keep within BSL. So as I said, there are different ways of doing a role shift. Our body can shift. We can quite physically move our body from left to right to show the switch between two characters. Once we've established a reference point, so we've placed a character into the sign space, we can use our eye shifts to look up, look down, that shows those subtle ways of changing characters. Our head movements. So as I said earlier, we can show height difference in characters. A short man, tall woman, a human, a pet, an adult and a child. The head will tilt up or down depending on where this character is communicating. Our facial expressions also help provide a way of role shifting. Not all characters are going to be angry. Not all characters are going to be confused. But maybe that character that you put into the left-hand side of your sign space is sad, whilst the other character is really happy that they've made them sad. Your emotions show those differences in character. Character traits and their mannerisms show us a shift in roles. So it could be an elderly person, their posture, or the pouting child with their lips pouting, the nervous habits that the character might have. This adds authenticity to the character. And also on non-verbal behaviors, as non-manual features are used to show emotions, the non-manual behaviors could show non-verbal behaviors, sorry, not manual, could show how they're walking, how they're gesturing, the chewing, the barking. And this adds a huge dynamic to your storytelling. A narrator might use one character. They might sign and then shift into one character, taking on their actions and their mannerisms. They might use the role shifts to describe that one person. They might show single characters' actions or expressions. So an example would be, my friend told me, and then you become that friend. The second way that we might use role shifts is a conversation between two people, and you alternate between those two characters. So either a conversation or an argument, a discussion. So this could be, I was talking to my friend Sally, or I was giving my order to the waiter, and I would role shift those two characters. And then we've got the third type of role shift, where there is multiple people in the group. It could be a family having dinner, and you have to play the roles of mum, dad, nan, brother, and sister. The group conversation, the complex scene, can only be managed with the body shifts, the eye gazes, the character traits. This is how your role shift becomes a chef's kiss. If you can start to be in a multi-character dynamic on your own, you're showing how you've used your role shifting to the assessors. See how you get on progressing through 1, 2, and 3 characters, and continue to practice it, because the more that you can show, the better your outcomes are for your assessments. So the key things to take away is that role shifts are the essential parts of storytelling in BSL. It's consistent with using your spatial space and the placement of the characters. You must use your non-manual features and your body language. You have to maintain eye gaze in those directions. Keep practicing with doing a one-person description. My friend told me. Progress that into two-character dialogue. And then progress into the storytelling of the dinner table example. Record yourself. See how your shifts take place. What shifts do you find easiest? Is your shifts looking too big or too small? Really assess this yourself. Don't forget your assessments can also, your role shifts, sorry, can also be role shifting into animals. The crazy dog that's barking for no reason, and then the owner getting annoyed. Or it could be a conversation. So you can have different types of role shift. Just make sure when you do change your characters, you are in a smooth transition between the two, or the three, or the four. But the main thing is to keep practicing. Let us know if you've got any questions, and we will see you in group.